2,000 years later.
Avengers, Rise of the Forgotten. The wind howled through the jagged peaks of the Himalayas, the icy air biting through even the most advanced of Tony Stark's suits. The Avengers trudged forward, each step a struggle as they climbed higher toward the ancient temple, buried deep in the mountains. Thor, wielding Mjolnir, hovered slightly above the ground, using the enchanted hammer to clear a path through the relentless snowstorm. "We are close," he declared, his voice booming over the roaring wind. "The heart of this mountain hides more than just ice and stone." Natasha Romanoff moved with quiet efficiency, her breath visible in the freezing air. Her sharp eyes scanned the horizon, always alert for threats. "We've been off the grid for days, no signs of life anywhere. You sure this artifact is up here, Stark?" Tony Stark's HUD displayed the faint energy signature they had been following for miles. "Positive, Natasha. Whatever's emitting this much energy is either our target or something we really don't want to leave unchecked. And by the way, next time, let's pick a mission somewhere tropical." Steve Rogers, shield strapped to his back, moved with the precision of a soldier on a mission. "Stay focused. We've faced worse than this." Bruce Banner, trudging behind, adjusted his thick winter coat, which did little to protect him if he needed to turn into the Hulk. "Just as long as this place isn't crawling with gamma radiation, I'm good." As they continued their climb, the storm suddenly calmed, the winds dying down as if the mountain itself was granting them passage. Before them, a massive stone structure emerged from the snow, a temple, ancient and foreboding, its entrance flanked by towering statues of forgotten deities. "Looks like we found our destination," Clint Barton said, nocking an arrow and keeping it ready. The Avengers approached the entrance cautiously, the silence of the place unnerving. They stepped inside, the air growing warmer as they descended a grand staircase into the heart of the temple. The walls were adorned with carvings of battles long past, ancient warriors wielding weapons of unimaginable power. "This place gives me the creeps," Clint muttered, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. Thor examined the carvings, recognizing the ancient script. These tell of a great war between the gods and beings of immense power, wielding the very elements of the universe. The team moved deeper into the temple, until they reached a massive chamber. In the center stood a pedestal, and atop it rested a crystalline object, pulsating with energy, the heart of eternity. Tony's scanners lit up with activity. "That's it, the heart of eternity. It's unlike anything I've ever seen." Before they could approach, the chamber rumbled, and the ground beneath them cracked open. From the shadows emerged figures clad in dark, ancient armor guardians of the temple, awakened from their slumber. "Looks like we've got company," Steve said, raising his shield. The guardians attacked with ferocity, wielding weapons that crackled with raw elemental power. Thor clashed with one of them, Mjolnir meeting the guardian's electrified sword in a shower of sparks. "These are no ordinary foes," he bellowed. Natasha and Clint worked in tandem, taking down one guardian after another with precise strikes. Tony unleashed a barrage of repulsor blasts, but the guardians absorbed the energy, growing stronger with each hit. "We need to find a way to shut them down," Tony shouted. Steve dodged a blow and noticed the glowing symbols on the walls. "The carvings, they're controlling them. We need to destroy the symbols." The Avengers spread out, targeting the symbols etched into the stone walls. One by one, they destroyed them, weakening the Guardians until they collapsed into heaps of lifeless armor. With the Guardians defeated, the team approached the Heart of Eternity cautiously. Thor reached out to touch it, but a powerful force repelled him, sending him crashing into the wall. "It won't let me near," Thor said, struggling to his feet. Tony scanned the artifact. "This thing is off the charts. It's not just an artifact. It's alive, or something close to it." Suddenly, the Heart of Eternity began to pulse faster, emitting waves of energy that shook the temple. The walls cracked, and the ground beneath them began to crumble. "We need to get out of here, now," Steve ordered. But before they could retreat, the energy from the Heart of Eternity coalesced into a humanoid form, a being of pure energy, radiating with power. "You have come seeking the heart," the being spoke, its voice resonating through the chamber. "But it is not yours to claim. It belongs to the Forgotten, and you shall not leave this place alive." Thor stepped forward, Mjolnir crackling with lightning. "We have faced gods and monsters alike. You will not stand in our way." The being unleashed a wave of energy, sending the Avengers flying. Thor countered with a blast of lightning, but the being absorbed it, growing even stronger. "This isn't working," Tony yelled, firing everything he had at the being, but to no avail. Steve rallied the team. "We need to outsmart it. Banner, can you figure out what this thing wants?" Bruce, struggling to control his urge to transform, analyzed the situation. "It's connected to the heart of eternity. We need to sever that connection. If we can disrupt the flow of energy, we might be able to weaken it." Tony nodded. "I can rig something, but I need time." Steve and the others fought to keep the being distracted, their attacks buying Tony the precious moments he needed. He worked quickly, modifying one of his energy disruptors to target the heart of eternity's energy field. "Almost there. Just keep it busy," Tony shouted as he made the final adjustments. The being, sensing Tony's plan, turned its attention to him, but Thor and Steve intercepted it, holding it off just long enough. "Now, Stark," Steve shouted. Tony activated the disruptor, and a powerful pulse shot out, hitting the heart of eternity. The being let out a deafening roar as its form began to destabilize, the energy holding it together unraveling. "No, you cannot destroy what you do not understand," the being cried out before it disintegrated into a burst of light. The heart of eternity fell silent, its glow fading as the energy within it was neutralized. Tony collapsed to the ground, exhausted. "I really need a vacation after this." Thor picked up the now dormant heart of eternity. "This artifact must be taken somewhere safe, far from those who would misuse its power." Steve nodded, catching his breath. "Agreed, but for now, let's get out of here before this place comes down on top of us." The Avengers made their way out of the crumbling temple, back into the harsh cold of the mountains. As they boarded their Quinjet and flew away from the Himalayas, they knew that this mission was far from over. Nick Fury's voice crackled over the comms. "Good work, Avengers. We've got a containment facility ready for the artifact, but there's more going on here than we thought. I'm sending you the intel now." Tony glanced at the data streaming in. "Looks like the Forgotten weren't just a myth. This might just be the beginning." Steve looked out at the horizon, the weight of the situation settling in. "Then we'll be ready. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." As the Quinjet soared into the clouds, the Avengers knew that their work was far from finished. New threats would rise, and old ones would resurface, but as long as they stood united, they would be the Earth's mightiest heroes.